What? That doesn't look like a real pressure washer? He doesn't look like a bum? You mean you gotta look halfway decent and halfway presentable to make $60,000 a year? Well, not really. I mean, I know people that make $60,000 a year pressure washing, and they look pretty much bummish. But on the other hand, that does help us get to where we need to be and grow our business. You know, we need to look and dress, nice and not all cut up pants and all bleached out clothing, because that doesn't look that good in the end. All right, so I want to talk a little bit about the three things, not one, not two, but three things that will make you a successful business owner. Whether you're just getting started or you're trying to get to the next level. Because at the end of the day, we just got to rinse and repeat. We got to do it. And so it doesn't matter if I start out here or if I got to get to here. So let's get started here. I don't even know I got to get signs on here because I was going through my screens, but that's all right. I'm going to go back here. So what is the number one thing that we have to do to be a successful pressure washer? I know that there's going to be some different opinions about this. I understand that. I know that sometimes it's not going to be what you think always. This is my friend Jason right here. He's in the chat. But what I believe will grow a successful pressure washing, the number one thing is mindset. What? You mean equipment's not one, other things not one? Nope. Mindset. The number one thing that will grow your pressure washing business. If we have the most beautiful equipment, it's not going to grow our pressure washing business. So we have to have a mindset. Now, you might say, well, what kind of mindset do I need? Well, first off, we need a positive thinking mindset. We need to be able to know that we can do things. And we got to be able to tell ourselves that it's going to be hard, but you can overcome this. Yes, you can do it. And a lot of times we get down on ourselves and we get down and we don't want to, and that is very bad. So the very first thing is we got to have a positive mindset, because this is the foundation of you starting, growing, getting bigger than ever. If we don't have a positive mindset, it's going to get hard when our phone's not ringing, because we're going to be like, our phone's not ringing, so I'm going to do nothing. A positive mindset says, our phone's not ringing. Well, what do I got to do to get the phone to ring? Do I just keep sitting here and doing nothing? Or do I go and I go talk to business owners. I go do networking. I go put signs out. I go do things. But if I don't have that positive mindset to tell me to do that, I'm going to be like, well, my phone's not ringing. What am I going to do? Number two, most important thing, and it was said, is customers. I put customers on top of equipment. I don't care if you can't get customers. It don't matter what kind of equipment you got. Jason here, when I went down here and rode with him, he had his new trailer. Well, his old trailer he did not like his old trailer. It was the little red-headed stepchild. He wouldn't put it in pictures. He wouldn't do none of that stuff because he didn't like his little red-headed stepchild. I got Greg Townsend. He has 1994 F-150, 250 old beater pickup truck. And it didn't look that pretty, but it's made a lot of money. So, but what has both of these guys done? They've gotten customers. Customers is exactly what you got to do. Equipment does make the money, I promise. Yes, equipment does make the money, but equipment does not get you coming in. So Having customers is very important. Now, how do we get customers? What do we need to do to get customers? Well, I'm glad you asked. So the very first thing I would tell you to do if you're just starting out is fill out your Google My Business. Because when we start getting these customers, we start getting reviews, and guess what? That's going to grow your business. Getting our Google My Business filled out completely from start to finish and doing all the things you need to do to make sure that Google My Business is on steroids. Now, we don't want to do black hat stuff, but we do want to make sure that our Google My Business is. Next thing, I'm going to give you the free things. I'm going to give you a couple free things. Now, the free things can help us, and we should be doing this even if we are growing our business. Even if we are doing, and we did $100,000 last year, even if I did do $200,000, you have to say, let's just start off, you have $0. So I want to do an experiment. I like to do an experiment. If there's somebody close to me, I might do this experiment with somebody. I like to do it and actually document it. I like to take video and document starting a business from very little money, and I may just do a video on how to do it with $150, $200. So the very first thing I would do is I'd get on good old Facebook. And I'm not talking about getting on Facebook to all your stupid groups of pressure washing. I'm talking about all of your friends. And I'm going to get on there and I'm going to start talking on Facebook all the time. I'm going to get on there and I'm going to do lives. Yeah, I'm going to go live. And I know that's going to scare some of you, but I want you to do it too. And I want you to do it and don't sell every time we're on there. Just be like, hey, today is a beautiful day. I'm getting ready to load up all my equipment. I'm heading to this job. Hope you all are having a great day. And just give some words of encouragement and positivity. You'll be shocked what'll happen. You will be shocked what will happen. So when we do that, that's going to be what we're going to do. We're going to be on Facebook. Because here's the thing. Facebook ain't going to show you out there if you don't ever show up. If you just show, I'm a pressure washer. Because there's no engagement. There's nobody's talking to you. And even ask questions to get engagement so you can respond back and forth. This is free marketing. Free. So, what's this? Jason. I'm in Villa Hills, Kentucky, and I'm a professional photographer by trade, just starting out pressure washing part-time this year. So, we might need to do something here, because if you can help me do a little bit of photography, I might be able to help you grow your pressure washing business. So, now you got me all. So that's the very first thing is we got to do this. And here's the deal. This even works for photography. This works for everything. This isn't just pressure washing related. This works for everything. This is how you grow a local business. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to get on there and do Facebook. The next thing I'm going to do is if I get work coming in, I'm going to go rent a pressure washer. And I'm going to go rent a pressure washer. I'm going to get 2 or 3 jobs done in one day. And I'm going to make about $500 to $1,000 in my day on my one day. And I'm going to do them all on one day. And I'm going to go rent me a pressure washer. And I'm going to go clean them all in one day. Then what I'm going to do, because I'm going to have $500 to $1,000. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go buy me some signs. Because I know signs get business. And I'm going to buy me about, how many signs do I want? I'm going to buy me about 300. If I ain't got that much money, I'm going to not buy that many. But I'm going to try to get 100 signs. They're about $350 with the big stakes and everything. Now, I can get no stakes and maybe save a little bit of money and go get my good old Guyman pole and start putting them up on poles. And that's not a bad idea, because then those signs are going to stay up there a little bit longer. There's a guy that has signs up around here, and they've been up since fall. And he started, and he's in right around your area of Villa Hills. And last year, he did right at $65,000 last year, starting in March or April, right when COVID started. So, next thing I'm going to do, once I get my signs, I'm going to go play signs everywhere. And if I still haven't made enough money to buy equipment yet, then I'm going to rent one Monday through Friday. And I wouldn't even buy a Home Depot cheapo one, because I'd rather wait until I get to about $1,500 where I can buy me something that I know that's going to last. And yes, you hear me, I'm putting everything back into the business right now, because I got to grow business from $0. And for me to grow the business from $0, I'm going to have to put everything back into business. Now, I understand it might be a little tough and a little bit hard, but it's like Dave Ramsey said. You know, you do the hard, you put it off to have so that you can have like no one else later. So that's what I'm going to do. So once I do that, I'm going to be placing signs. Get in a rhythm of placing signs. Set a goal every week of how many signs are you going to place. No matter what. No matter if you are so busy, so swamped that you can't do nothing, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that every week. No matter if I'm so busy, I'm booked out 3 weeks and I can't get all the work, I'm still going to go do 25 signs. I'm still going to do Facebook Live 2-3 times a day. I'm still going to put posts up 2-3 times a day. I'm still going to do all that stuff. Because like in my Facebook group last night, I have somebody in there and he's like, I'm booking out to the middle of March right now. And you know what I told him to do? This is what I told him to do. Raise your prices. You know what happens when we raise our prices? It's amazing. We start making more money. I know one of my local guys here, Benjamin, he was like, Jason, how do you get rid of these low-paying jobs? I'm losing $700,000 jobs for these $250 jobs. I'm like, reschedule or you're kind of screwed. It's called quit selling cheap in the beginning when you shouldn't be. You know, if you're getting out 2 weeks out, week and a half out, raise our prices. We have to raise our prices. I started with signs, Facebook, lives, ads on Facebook. Those were 3 keys for my business. And this is Courtney, and they had a very tight budget. They had to live on that budget. And guess what? This is what I remember, because she was one that was like, I don't want to go Facebook Live. I don't want to. I don't feel comfortable. And what do I say to do? Just do it. You know, in my group, in my pressure washing group, I tell people to go live in there so you get comfortable of going live so you can go live on your personal page. I understand it is hard. It is hard to try to go live. It's uncomfortable. You will talk to nobody. Literally, when you first start doing it, you will have this many people show up on your Facebook Live. And that is okay. That's okay. Because you keep doing it, and Facebook will send 1, 2, 3. And sometimes that's more scary than doing it live with nobody. But just sit there. Think that this right here is a person. You are talking to a person. Don't think of it that I'm talking to a phone. This is how, when I talk to you guys, I think that we're talking right here. You know, I'm just holding the conversation. I'm just the caddy of holding all the conversation. This right here is another person. Think that you're talking to another person. And when you do that, you will be able to get over that fear of this camera, because this camera is very scary. Now I get in trouble because my wife is like, why are you keep looking at the mirror, or why are you looking at something? You know, because I've gotten in the habit of looking in the camera. When I'm talking to somebody, I look at you in the eyeballs. I don't look at you down here, around here, there. So that's why I think that this is a thing. If you can, hold the phone up. Don't hold it down, because then you look like you're dominating them. Now, I'm dominating anybody, whoever's around me anyway, because I'm 6'6". But if I'm holding it here, I don't look scary. If I could get my camera up a little bit higher, I'd get my camera up a little bit higher, because right now you all are kind of looking up to me, and that's probably okay, but it's better if I was down here, and then it makes it feel like you're talking down to me and not the other way. All right, so we're going to do signs. We're going to do Facebook ads, or I'm sorry, not Facebook, Facebook Lives, talking on Facebook. We're going to get in Facebook groups, and we're going to do this. And we're going to do this all the time. I don't care if we're just starting out, or if we got 150, if we did 100 and 200,000, $500,000 last year. All these companies are going to do the same thing. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to, so Facebook, YouTube, or Facebook signs, Facebook groups. I'm going to get in these groups, and I'm going to conversation in these groups. I'm not just going to go in these groups and say I'm a pressure washer, because they're going to say I don't care. We're going to try to get engagement. We're going to engage on them, and we're going to make engagement. We might even ask questions on there so that we can get engagement. Hey guys, I'm a pressure washer, and I need a CPA. Hey guys, I'm a pressure washer. I'm saying a little bit, but I'm asking a question, because then they're going to say, oh, he's a small business. He's this, he's that, he's this. And so when we do that, that is something that we will be able to do, so that way we're building. And when we do this, the old algorithms, you may have heard the algorithms, that's how Facebook and Google and everything works. They will start showing you more and more and more, because you're giving engagement, and they know that people like you, and they know that this will happen. And this is how we can grow our business and be successful. And like I say, it doesn't matter if we're a one-man band or a 25-man band. It's all the same. You got to do the same thing. All right, so the next thing is, all right, equipment. We do need equipment. Now, do we need to go out and spend $30,000, $20,000 on equipment to make $100,000? And the answer is no. So I'm going to scoot back about a year, and Greg was on here, and Greg Townsend called me, and he was in bad shape. He had gotten laid off from his job. He had $0, very little money, very little money. I mean, he started a pressure washing business with a 2.3 pressure washer, a $200 pressure washer. I don't even think he spent $200 on it. I think it was a yard sale deal. Now, Greg lost his job. Greg didn't have no money, so Greg had to figure out something. So Greg contacted me, and he kind of gave me the sob story. And at the time, I didn't know. No, I was like, okay, these are some things you can do. And Greg went, and he's like, Jason, when I get the money, I'm going to pay you $10,000, $15,000 to build me a trailer. And I'm like, why do you need me to build you a trailer for $10,000, $15,000? Do what you got and do it. And guess what? I did end up selling him a $700 or $600 box of a soft wash box that had the soft wash pump in it. But that's all I ever sold him. You know what I sold him on? Put two 55-gallon drum barrels in the back of your truck and plumb those up. And he had a 4-gallon. He did upgrade his pressure washer to a 4-gallon a minute. And he got a surface cleaner. He finally got some hose reels. And guess what? He had less than $2,000 in his trailer when I sold him the 27, or his back of his truck, and I sold him the $700 box. So he had less than $3,000 in there. And this past year, I don't even know what he did yet. I know he did probably $60,000, $50,000, $60,000, maybe more, because he had some $10,000 months in there. So why did I tell you this story for? Because you don't need a lot of equipment to do $60,000. You don't need a lot of equipment to do $100,000 a year. What we need is a pressure washer, a downstreamer. That's all we need, really, and a surface cleaner. If we have those three things, if I have a pressure washer, a downstreamer, and a surface cleaner. Greg Townsend, right here. He did $82,000 off of a less than $3,000 worth of equipment and a $1,000 truck. I mean, I think that's pretty good last time I checked. And that's starting in March. So you can do it, guys. You can. It can be done. Now, what does Greg Townsend have? What does Greg Townsend have? He has a little bit of mindset. I had to work on that mindset a little bit because sometimes you get kicked down and you got to get brought back up. But he has the willingness to go out there and get it done. When I said go put out signs, he went out and put out signs. When I told him to go out there and do stuff, he did it. That's what I want you to do. Because you know what? And he asked a lot of questions. I did allow him to message me back and forth at the beginning because I knew he was in a tight spot. So that's one thing. I was answering all his questions when they come in. How to bid stuff, how to do all that kind of stuff. And you know what? It's what happened. Boots on the ground, cold calls, signs, bustle, hustle, and raise your prices. Because this was another one, Greg, was, and this was in a time that his dad had bad health issues and had to have surgery and couldn't work. And what I told him to do? Well, the days that you do work, raise your prices. Because you know what happens? Even if we get booked out 2-3 weeks and we're only working 1 day a week, well, that 1 day a week, we want to be making $2,000 every day, and that is how we can do that. Jason is the best cheerleader. So, $60,000. Let's talk about that. What do we got to do to get $60,000? All I need is 160 people to give me $375, and I made $60,000. Now, Cincinnati, just the city of Cincinnati, has 300,000 people in it. Louisville has 600,000. So Cincinnati and Lexington has 350. So Cincinnati is a smaller town than those other cities around me. So I only need 160 people in 10 months to give me $375, and I've gotten it there. And if you can't get your average ticket of $375, then you gotta raise your prices so we can get that goal. So let's break that down. $60,000, 10 months, $1,500 a week. That's all I gotta bring in. $1,500 a week. I can do 4 jobs at $375, and that $1,500 will make me $60,000. Now, if I want to do 120, I double it. But it can be done. I know it can be done. Greg did 82. Nick on Central Illinois did 70, and he got hit by a car. He would have did over 100 in his first year, I believe. I know he would have, because he was talking about doing Christmas lights, and if he'd have done Christmas lights, he would have really killed it. Period. So these are some things that you can do to make it to the next level. Nathan, my average is 425, and he lives in the middle of nowhere. I mean, when they talk about Kentucky, it's kind of what you think about Nathan in Cynthiana. I mean, I'm just saying, it's not like his nearest city is 45 minutes away. That's a big city, so he's going to have to drive a little bit to get there. But it can be done. It can be done. So, goal this year, because Jason said so, 75,000. Set a goal and do it. I mean, 75,000, if you bump up that average and you did 4 jobs a week, if you bumped up that let's see, 75,000 divided by 400, that's 180 jobs. 180 jobs. So it's not much more than this right here, just bumping our average ticket up, and we can get even higher. And that is the goal, to be able to get there. can we break down 250? So I can break anything down. 250 divided by, now you kind of got a little bit of an edge, but I'm going to go 10 months because there is some months that are bad. It's $25,000 a month is what you need to be able to do $250,000. And that can very well be done. 100%. Divided by, because this is kind of my goal, was to do $250,000 per truck. Divided by 4, that's $6,200. Divided by 5, that's wrong. But it's not that hard. You know, that's a $1,500, that's a $2,000 day will get you to $250,000. It can be done. It will be done if you do it. If you put the work into it, it can be done. 35 minutes to Lexington. Since this is my first year, my goal is 15,000. Well, do you want to break your goal by March or April? Maybe March, April, May. Let's break that goal by June. I'll give you to June to do 15,000. If you do what I say and you go put out 25 signs a week, you will break that by June. And I'm not even joking. In 25 signs, you do a little bit of Facebook, and I'm not even telling you to put a lot of money in marketing. If you put 100 signs out in March, 100 signs out in April, and 100 signs out in May, you will do over, I would bet you could do over that by June. And that is definitely something that you can do. I mean, as long as you're willing to go do some of that, and even if you're doing it on the weekends, maybe you're not able to do it every day and you're doing it on the weekends, you just got to be able to sell and raise your prices and get that average ticket up, because we don't want to be doing stuff for free. Now, don't get me wrong. Is there times we got to do free stuff to get stuff? Yes. You know, maybe, but here's the thing. If we're going to do a free house, and I've done free houses, because sometimes if you get the pictures and the pictures and the review, it's not, you're really making a lot of money at that point. It can be definitely done. That will help you a lot. Now, don't go do the small little trailer crappy house. But Jason, why would I not want to do that? That's cheaper. It's only going to cost me $10. Go do the biggest house that you want to do. Because I want to get pictures that I did this big giant $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 house, other than this $25,000 shanty shack or trailer. And I'm sorry if you live in a trailer, but I'm just saying, the people that are living in the trailer are not my customer. They're not. The person that's living in the shanty house, the $75,000 house, is not my customer. My customer lives in the $300,000 to $700,000 house, big mansion, beautiful house, isn't really that dirty. That's the pictures I want to take, because I don't want the nasty, dirty, ugly houses that make me feel good because look how dirty it is and look how clean I can get it. Them aren't the customers I want. I want the customers that are cleaning that house every year or 2 years, not 20 years, because they don't got the money to do it. So, with that, that's what I want. So, that's what you want to do too. You don't want the cheap house. You want to go get into the Triple Crown houses and go find somebody in there and say, hey, can I wash your house? I'll do it for free. All you got to do is give me a 5-star review. And if I do such a great job and you tip me, I appreciate it very much. And I'll thank you a lot. Because when we do that, that is the customer that we want. We don't want the cheap customers. We want the high-paying customers. We want to get our average ticket up to that $450, $500, $700, $1,000. Yes, you can get your average ticket to $1,000 and do 2 of those a day. I mean, $2,000, who wouldn't want that, right? I mean, with $2,000 a day, make you feel all right. It make me feel all right. And I don't know if a lot of you all, when I say Triple Crown houses, there's a subdivision down south of me that's Triple Crown, and that's where famous people actually live in there too. Not very well. There's some famous people in there. There's some big houses in there. A lot of CEOs, stuff like that, managers. Jason, where should I spend $6,000 in marketing for 1 year? Signs, Google Ads, website, magazines. I would probably put some in signs. I would put some in AdWords, where I'd put it at. Website isn't, I mean, make sure your Google My Business is 100% up par, ready to go, all that kind of stuff. You can do a lot of it yourself. You can put some money into it and pay somebody to do, pay some people to do the Google My Business. But that is definitely something that I would do myself. I would, if I had $6,000 to put up, I would first I would go put signs out, and then I would be doing AdWords and stuff like that. But I would also make sure that all my citations are up. All of the things that I need to do for my Google My Business is done, because Google My Business is gold. And the biggest thing we can do is get reviews and make sure our Google My Business is 100%. So, in a website, honestly, with a website, you can go, and I know I haven't pushed this a whole lot, but nice job. You can do the website for $100 a month, and it's a very good website. I can show you a little bit of a nice job website. This guy makes lots of money off this. He's out of Indiana, and this is a website. They convert very well, because guess what? What makes a good converting website? Look, you got a name and a phone number, and or not a name don't give a crap, but we have a phone number, and we have a get an estimate button, and it sticks around. He's got reviews. Look, the reviews are there. Look how awesome that is. Review us. This is what it is. So if you did this with a nice job, you can do they'll do all the SEO on page. It just doesn't get the off page SEO side of it. But I've ran ads to this actual website, and they do fine. So nice job is something that I would consider. I've actually, if you've been on the King Pressre Wash, I've actually got it on my website for the reviews. If you want to give me a review and see how the review thing works, and I haven't finished the page 100%, I'm trying to figure out how to get the little widget to work on mine, but there is a write a review. It is kingofpressurewash.com/review. And if you give me a review, I would appreciate it. And tell me a little bit about your story. And that way you can go right here. And I've already been on there, but I can do a Google review or a Facebook review. And then you can just give the review right here. It comes up. The class was awesome. Best speaker here. This is what I put on there, but you can write whatever you want to write on there. So these are some things that you can do. I do appreciate the reviews also. So if I have helped you in any way, I would appreciate a review. If you do go through the nice pressurewashhelp.com, nice job, I do get affiliate for it, so you'll buy me a cup of coffee or two. And so, being that I don't drink coffee, I'll drink sweet tea, because if you don't drink enough sweet tea, you can't keep your fat figure. So that's why I do that for. So, but again, that is through Nice Job. That is one way. You can always build one. There's ways to get around it cheap. And again, a website doesn't have to, just because you spend lots of money on a website and get a really pretty website, doesn't mean it's going to be a converting website. I've seen some real crappy websites. I built one and it converted like a son of a gun. So pretty doesn't, and I've seen some real pretty ones, and and I've ran ads to them, and they were big old fat duds. So you just gotta be able to make money off of it. I want to make 100,000 this year is my goal. So what I said for 60, double it. So you need to make $3,000 a week is what you need to do. So if you can get 4 jobs at $700, you're at a little over $100,000, and that can be very done. Again, we got to make sure that we are ready to go right now. This is the time of year right now that we make sure our Google My Business is the bomb and done and everything. We make sure that it has 100 pictures on it that are named where we want to work at. We make sure that everything we need to do in our might is to do that so we can make that $100,000. Because if we get on the ground running and we keep running, you'll get there. If we get out on the ground and we've been a dud right now and haven't put in our time to get there and learn Facebook and even do your Facebook lives right now, even get on Facebook right now and start talking to people, start building that engagement. When we build that engagement, then when it comes time, then it's just like a roller coaster, because then we can keep it going. You know, just do it. That's what I'm telling you. Just do it, and you'll get there. If you don't do it, you won't get there. That's basically the way it works. You know, you have to put work in to be able to do it. Never power wash before. We'll be starting, and you know, I have my course. If you've never, I understand. You can go to pressurewashhelp.com/free. Get free. You get 30 days free. And if you really want to get the hands-on portion and really get it understand, you can go to pressurewashhelp.com/dates. And here, Donovan and I are going to be doing a pressure washing class, in-person, hands-on class. That you will know everything you need to know. And if you do pressure washing and Christmas lights, it's a year-long business that you can make lots of money. Lots of money. Up your prices and packages the best way. It's like I've said that or something before. Packages. We bundle things in packages and we say, looky, you wanted a house wash? Okay, here's your $300 house wash, but you know, for another $150 I can do the windows, and for another $300 I can do the driveway. And you will have the most beautiful, clean house on the street. And you got some of these people out there that say, I only buy the best, so I'm going to take that everything package. And then you got some people saying, I ain't never going to buy the lowest thing, so I got to buy the middle package. And then you'll have 25% buy that low package. Package. Get our average price up, we make more money, and that is what I want for you to do is to make more money so you can be successful. And don't get into the habit, I had to turn the heater off because I'm about to sweat in here. Don't get into a habit or a mindset. Remember I talked about mindset, and we're talking about money. Don't get into the mindset that, Jason, you're just ripping them people off. I can't do that. I can't charge that much. I would never pay that much. I can't believe you're just ripping those people off, Jason. And you know what I'm going to tell you? It's about mindset. If you want to be in business and stay in business, you got to charge. And if people are willing to pay and they're happy and they're leaving you 5-star reviews, then guess what? You're not ripping them off. You're giving them value. You know what you're giving them? You're giving them time. They are buying time. They know that $1,000 is better to do that, to pay $1,000 than miss their kid's soccer game, to miss their kids' whatever, dance recital, horse show, soccer game, football game, baseball game. That's what you're giving that customer. And that customer will be happy as a clown. And again, when they give you a 5-star review, I don't want you coming back to me and saying, this is what I want you to do. If they give you a 5-star review, I want you to take out your wallet and be like, sir, I've charged you too much. You need to take some of this money back. Because guess what? They're happy and they don't care about your money. They want it done. Their wife's been nagging on them forever. And so that is what we do to make the wife happy, because when the wife's happy, we get to go have, in the bedroom. And if the wife's not happy because she's been nagging on me for 3 weeks, we don't get to go in there and do fun things. So guess what? Fun things are worth a lot of money. I'll give $1,000 for fun things if I don't got to do it and it gets done and it gets the nagging wife off of me. That is why we raise prices. That is why we do prices and packages. And I don't even know how I got on that spiel, but packages gets higher price, we make more money, and we bring more money home. That's the goal. It's easiest to break it down. We want to break it down. And the reason why we want to break it down is we can, when I look at that, I only got to do 4 jobs a week at $375. That sounds a lot better than I want to do $60,000, because I can set my goal this week that I got to do $2,000. I got to put out 25 signs so that I can get my $1,500 week. Does that make sense? I put out my 100 signs, I'm going to get my 1,500. And I keep doing that over and over and over. And guess what? I made my money. And I like making my money. On Tuesday, I spent 6 hours just getting knowledge from your videos. That's what it's all about. Learn right now, but just don't get the knowledge. Put it into action. Get your Google My Business. Get this. And I've been working on my course because I've got stuff here, there, and everywhere. And I'm putting it in a better package, adding stuff that I know that needs added. So that way I can probably confuse more people. But that's all right. You will at least have the information. And then you can go out there, do a little bit of work, come back and learn. Do a little bit of work, come back and learn. Because you're never going to learn it all up front. You could go through and watch everything. And I teach you how to start a business from the very start to the very end. But it's a lot of information in one day. So these are some things that you have to do to get there. Up your prices, and packages are the best way to meet those high dollar goals. Because when we up our prices and we do packages, those high dollar goals aren't so high at the end. What kind of packages do you have? Again, if you don't do window cleaning, we do house washing, we can do concrete cleaning, we can do deck cleaning, we can do anything that they need done. My goal was $30,000 for about 3 months. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Greg Townsend, when he started, he wanted to do $30,000 for the whole year. And then 3 months in, I was like, you might have to raise that a little bit. Ended up doing $82,000 in his very first year. That is amazing. I'm in the suburbs of Philadelphia. Good point. If you're in the suburbs of Philadelphia, again, you got to go find those houses that are your customers. And when you go to these houses and you do this work, don't get I'm going to go back to my free house. When I get there to my free house, I'm not going to focus on the cleaning. I clean this house to be almost perfect. And I got 0 pictures. No. I want you to get hundreds of pictures. Video of you cleaning. Video of you doing stuff. Doing the slow-mo, doing different things. Showing you pressure washing. Showing your facial expression. Put the camera right here. Oh, looky, I'm pressure washing. That way, and I want you to show the big house. I want that house shown from every side. The befores, the afters, anything I can. So that way I have this $500,000 house that I'm cleaning, and I got all these pictures that I can post every day for months and not even post the same pictures. And guess what? They're going to be like, this dude, he does big houses. I got a big house. He must be an amazing pressure washer. They don't know you did that house for free. I'm going to do $100,000 pressure washing and $50,000 in Christmas lights. It's awesome. $150,000 business. I have 4 broke ribs right now and still getting it. That ain't good. First year goal, $75,000. So you're just a little bit above this goal right here. I found 200 signs for $234. Just make sure they're big ones. Don't get the little bitty ones. I like the 18 by 24 because I want them big. Is that always the best one? Well, it is. I like them. Got to keep pushing. 2 things I need to learn how to do: price packages and subcontracting. Now that one can be a tough one, is the subcontracting one. My suggestion is raise your prices, and then, a lot of times on your packages, just try to figure out how much it is. I'm shooting for $300 an hour. So okay, the house is going to take me an hour. It's a 2,500 house, $350. Okay, the driveway is going to take me an hour, another $300. The windows, $150. Okay, so 300, 350, 150 is 500, $800. Here you go. Hey, if you do all 3 of these, I'll do them for $750. I'll give you a deal, and I'll do them for $775. That's how you do it. The windows are only going to take you 20 minutes. You fall off a roof. Greg Townsend, and this is Jason's words for life. I'm not my customer. I'll tell you right now, I won't say never, because I may someday pay somebody to pressure wash my house. I will never pay somebody to pressure wash my house, and I'll probably never pay somebody to do Christmas lights. But you know what? A lot of people have paid me to do pressure washing and paid me to do Christmas lights. And it's the most beautiful thing ever, and it's awesome. And I know there's a lot of people on the other side of this camera that has made a lot of money from doing pressure washing and Christmas lights. And so can you. Now, it takes a little willpower, and it takes a little oomph, and it takes some getting out there and doing it. But you can make money doing this. I promise you. And again, you are not your customer. Feel like I'm getting screwed with insurance. $879 all year. That's not bad. That's actually pretty cheap. $879 is pretty cheap. You're probably not going to find. You're lucky to find it that cheap. In fact, I would probably tell you to make sure that it's classified as the right classification. Tried to jump from shipping container to another, missed it by ½ inch. Ooh, that hurt. If you pay me $300 for it, then they will be my customers. Yep. I want the Triple Crown houses. That's exactly right. That's good advice right there, Jason. Yeah, and this is true. Them big old horse barns down there in Kentucky are some big money. I did a couple when we were down there. Big old house. What are your thoughts on social media management companies, and who would you recommend? I don't have no recommendations of who to tell you to do it on the social media management companies. What I would say is be careful what you pay. Know what you're paying for. They're not always going to be they're not always going to be the best for you. So make sure that you know what you're getting into. If you're just starting out, I would say do a lot of it yourself, because even if you learn how to do it, then and that's why I give all the steps of how to do everything in my course. And here's why. If you know everything going into it, and then when you go to hire somebody, you know that if they're full of crap or not. You know that this dude is full of poop, or this dude knows what he's talking about. And if you don't know what you're talking about, and they can sell crap to an Eskimo, you're screwed, because you're going to get screwed. They're going to suck. I don't matter. SEO companies are the worst for screwing people, because you know what they're going to tell you? Well, it usually takes about 6 months to a year to know if this is working. So while you're giving me $800,000, $2,000 a month, I don't know if it's going to work or not. But if you give me that money, that's why I want you to know what works and how to do it and how to make sure that you're not getting screwed. What chemical do you all use to remove oil stains on driveways? Well, oil stains are one of those things that I never guarantee that I'm going to get them 100% clean. Because concrete's like a big sponge and that oil goes down in it. And yes, you can knock the top layer off, but sometimes you still can't get that oil all the way up. I use a good degreaser. I've used Purple Power. I've used EBC. I like EBC, different things that I use. But I've used Purple Power, Super Power from Walmart, and they'll do good. Do I need hot water for gum removal in gas stations? I'd highly recommend it. Otherwise, get you a torch. Go get you a torch and do it that way. Them are the only really ways to get it up. Unless you just turbo nozzle it or red tip it, and then you're pulling concrete and all up. Then you're damaging the concrete with a red tip. You really are. I have a house that's 25,000 square feet. Driveway is 150 feet long, 1,200, but I'm only working on weekends. It sounds pretty good. That driveway is going to take you a little while from being that long. Jason, got quite a few reviews on Google My Business, but isn't allowing me to add my address. Any thought? Make sure that there's a little button on there that will hide your address. Make sure that check mark is not checked, because if it's checked, your address won't be on there. It is also a CRM. I don't know what that question is. I am 15 and have 3,000 saved. Do I need a license to start my own pressure washing business? No, Christopher, you do not, unless you're in a state that does require it. So it depends on what state you're in. I think Florida's like a state that you got to have a license. Some states are different, so you'll have to know what your state's requirement is. Here in Kentucky, you don't have to have a license. Ohio, you don't have to have a license. There's a bunch of ways you don't have to have a license. So that is, yeah. And whoever asked that question of what's the best way to remove gum is with hot water. Hot water will emulsify it and then allow it to come. It'll basically melt it down and get it off. So you don't need a license. I would really push for you to do marketing, buy signs, do that. You can buy you a little 4 gallon a minute, 5 gallon. You can buy a 5 gallon a minute with some hose. If you have a little trailer or something, see if you can do some wheeling and dealing. This will be my first season. A buddy suggested attending HOA meetings and explaining who you are and what you do. Then discount prices for every 10 to 15 houses they commit to contract with you. Thoughts? You just got to remember HOA's got a bunch of Karens in them. So, right now with COVID, you're probably not going to do many HOA meetings anyway. And usually when I've seen HOA meetings, usually there ain't a lot of people in there. Now, what I would do is I would get on my little phone right here and get on my little Facebook and go find their HOA that has their little group in here, their homeowners, and I'd be like, join, and then I would do what I said in the beginning. Join conversations. Like what I have, like there's a subdivision down the road from me, it's called Hanover, and they have their own little community, and you're supposed to live there, and you hit the join button, and a lot of times they'll allow you to join. So guess what? I'm in their group, and when they have all their trees last year, 2 years ago, they had all the trees, and they had these big, beautiful trees. And it was the most caring thing you ever heard of. They were Japanese maples. So they started breaking. And then they're invasive. So they're like, we got to get rid of them all. Well, it cost so much money. So they only got rid of half of them the 1 year. Then last year they did the other, they did them in threes. They did them in 3 sections. And the reason why they did them in 3 sections, and they did 3 different types of trees this time. So that way if one went bad or something, they could do that. So the last section they did they put them in, they installed them last year when it was like 5 degrees outside. Every one of those trees that they planted the last winter died dead. So here comes the irony of the story. That business went out of business and went bankrupt. So now they're SOL, and now they had to go back and ask some more money. And you want to talk about some funny conversations on their group. It was pretty funny. That said, join in on that conversation. Just let them know, hey, blah, blah, don't be stupid. Obviously, you got to use your brain. But when they ask different things, hey, do this, do that, then you can do that. How many pages should we have on our website, Pressure Washing Business? How many pages should we have? So obviously you can do 1 page. You can do, your main page. Honestly, I like doing the main page, house wash page, roof page. And some of that we'll do for SEO because that will help us with SEO a little bit. And then if you really want to do it, you can do a blog page. And that blog, now when we do a blog, we don't just put one blog out and think that this thing's going to do it. We got to blog every week. And it takes a lot of time. It will build over time, make our website rank, but it is something that isn't easy and it takes time. Come to find out, I was just Evel Knievel, or not. Never power one. Yeah, I answered that one. Hey, Jason, thoughts on social? Oh, what the heck happened? That's how my website looks, and it was free. Are you commenting on Facebook under your business profile or personal, just tagging your business? So that's a great question, State Line. I like to post on my personal, and then the reason why I post on my personal is because Facebook is all about money. Imagine that. Facebook wants money. And how do they get money? Through businesses that pay ads. So do you think they're going to post your business for free? No, they're not going to show your business post at all unless you're like engaging on it all the time and you're bringing people in. Otherwise, they're not going to show it. So I like posting as me, and then that way it will do the other way. I'm in the Midwest, so I'm not doing any advertisement just yet. Probably end of February when weather gets above 40. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't put nothing in it right now either. Don't just watch Power Wash on YouTube. This off season, I learned how to build a site and rank page 1 with my website. Have 5 listings on page 1. I'm not a tech guy. You can learn anything you want. Yep, you're right. This is a good time to do that. And like you say, get off of Facebook groups and go learn something and do this. You can go on YouTube and learn anything. You can go take courses and learn anything. If I'm struggling with Facebook ads, go take a Facebook course. Go watch some YouTube videos that you really like. And there's some really good YouTube or Facebook specialists that do really good in Facebook. Hal's one. There's a couple different ones. And then they have a course, pay the course and learn everything they got. Because guess what? You just learned a skill. And if you learned a skill that Bob over here don't have, guess what? You just learned a skill that Bob don't have that you do, that you can make money off of it. And that's how that thing works. Had tons of success offering packages. It works. I wouldn't lie to you. If it didn't work, I wouldn't tell you. It works. Don't offer your package if it is going to send you to jail. Yeah. I am not my customer. I'm not my customer either because I'm tight. Talk that talk, bro. Give me some thumbs up. Happy wife, happy life. Amen. That is true. Again, I think that was on some comments that I was talking about before about making wife happy means you happy. If you're so successful, why don't you have the pressure wash company anymore and work in the firehouse? Well, because if I had the pressure, I'm going to talk about that a little bit. It's all about focusing. I'm focusing on my pressure wash training. Could I go start a business? Absolutely, I could. I couldn't start it around here because I got a 5-year non-compete. I'd have to go somewhere else to do that. I could do that. Yes, I could do that. But I love some of all these other guys out there that are wanting putting these courses out there, and they got this pressure washing business, and they're focusing like this. They're focusing some over here, and you know what's going to happen to these people? They're not going to do crap. They're going to go. They're going to be right where they are. They're not going to go. Neither one's going to grow. Right now, my goal is focusing to help you grow your business and be successful. I did quit the firehouse, but my goal is to make sure that you right there can have the things that you want, have time freedom, have financial freedom. That's my goal. And my goal by doing that is focusing on this right here. And you might say, well, what do you mean by focusing? Well, I'm going to tell you, I do 4 videos for you guys a week. You know how hard that would be if I was trying to run a company and do 4 videos and do different things, the other things that I do, the phone calls, the other crap coming in. It's a lot of work. I had one of the YouTube guys, he has an affiliate link, and if you want an affiliate link, I can give you an affiliate link if you want to get some money from my course and sell it. And he was wanting to do a course himself this year, and guess what? He can't because he's too busy focusing on his business to be worrying about this. You got to focus. You know, that is one thing that I've had to learn, and it's probably the hardest thing. Get out of squirrel syndrome. Squirrel. Look, this thing, I can do this, I can make a lot of money. I can do this, I can make a lot of money. I can do this and make a lot of money. But if I'm just sitting here doing squirrel, I don't make no money. If I sit here and focus and I set my goals, I can make lots of money. People don't make lots of money doing a little bit of everything. People learn a very good skill and focus on it, and they make the most money. The people that niche down and really can do some, like the paver stones. I know people that just do paver stones and they make millions of dollars off of it. I know people that just do pressure washing and make millions of dollars off of it. I don't know many people that do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and make a lot of money off of it. You know, Donovan, he focused on gutter cleaning. Makes a lot of money off gutter cleaning. Did he add pressure washing? Yeah, it brought him in $100,000. Christmas lights? Yeah, $250. But his main money last year was gutter cleaning. And you might think, how the heck can somebody make that much money just doing gutter cleaning? Because he focused for all those years on gutter cleaning, and guess what? It took off. You know, I love how people want to shoot down little things of everywhere. You know, there's one industry that I've been hearing a lot, and there's another YouTuber that's really been pushing it, and I was like, I want to go see how many people in my area do what they're wanting to push. How many people are doing that? You know how many people I found in my area that are doing it? Goose egg, other than franchises. So let me think about this. You're telling me you're making this kind of money off of this one little thing, of doing this one little thing that nobody else is doing it? Come on now. Focus. Get off the rabbit trails. If you can't sell to commercial, you can't do other things on commercial. We get to have you know what in the bed. I'm rolling right now. That's funny. What's up, all my Chicago friends? Do you have trouble shooting and repairing tutorials on your website? I am building. I have some of how to build it, so that will be troubleshooting. But you know, I don't. It depends on what it's doing. If it's like true troubleshooting, you've done something you don't know how to do it, YouTube it. This is what I'm going to tell you to do. Is 4,000 psi Honda engine a good start? Yes, perfect. It is. I do like the 5.5 gallon a minute. Pressure don't mean nothing. You know, if it's only 2,500 psi and 5.5 gallon a minute, that's fine. I wouldn't go no lower than that. Pressure means nothing. Pressure does not clean. The soap cleans. Only 29 people, 29 out of 101 hit the thumbs up. Jason, do you have a checklist for employees when they get on the job? Yes, I do, and I was supposed to send that to you. It's in the membership. It's under the steps. It's under like the first step or two, like when you knock on the door and stuff like that. All 3 of them are downloaded in there. If not, I will. I'm gonna move them around a little bit and make them actually say checklist, so that way you know where they are. We love our $1,000 days. I don't have any, and Jason's got a $5,000 week coming up. I don't have any money to start one. Is it worth financing a $1,200 DeWalt pressure washer? Again, I was just talking about, I would not do that. Personally, I would not do that. In the very beginning of this video, I talk about if I had $0, how I would start. And that's how I would tell you to start. Go rent one till you can get a good pressure washer. Will the DeWalt work? Yes. But I wouldn't do that if it was me. I would rent one. That's what I would do. Go rent one. Go rent one, or go see if you can find one off Facebook, Craigslist, stuff like that. I traded an old lawnmower. I had an old riding lawnmower, and I traded for a pressure washer. How I started one of mine. Pictures are worth thousands of dollars. Pictures. Do a freebie and get the pictures. And make sure it's a big house. Don't go get the crappy house. Go get the big house. I live in Kansas City, Missouri. What's the ideal temp? I like anything over 35 so I don't freeze up. Really about above 50 is best. Even 60. Obviously, I work lower than that. 60, the chemical works. 60, about 70 is where optimal for the chemical. Because if we go, the colder we get, the more chemical we're going to use. Yes, you can rent. Deal with the issues that come with that and move forward. Keep pushing. Do people's pressure wash when they're in the snow? I've pressure washed in the snow, but not too many. Yes, we're going to use the customer water, Christopher. We're going to use the water from there. A local guy is selling his business, 5.5 Honda cat pump electric start for $750. That's a good buy. Should I run and buy it? Not many hours. That's a steal. That's a steal for that. That's because that motor right there with the electric start is like almost $1,900. So that's a good deal. And even if the pump is bad, you're not going to have that much in it. I work full time and I'm trying to start it for a side. What is the best place to start? Working on weekends. You know, I had Brian a couple weeks ago, months ago. He's a school teacher. Did over $150,000 last year. It can be done. When doing packages, price each itemized item high, so when you give the package deal discount, the customer feels like they are getting a deal when in reality yes, absolutely. So like if my house wash was normally, so if I wanted to discount down that house wash at $350, I'm going to tell them at $375, and then that way if they just want the house wash, I'm going to make $375. But if they do the deals, then they go here. Did 2 jobs this week, total of 6 hours of work, 2 houses. Awesome. My only setback there, it is electric, but if you get the customer CRM with the business, it's worth it. Talked to Al this week. He ain't talking crap tonight. I'm shocked. I like giving him crap. Yeah, Kyle, thank you. A great deal. Repeat the mistake. Pressure washer doesn't give me customers. Let's see. Any other questions? Jason, when I get this started, I'm going to give you the updates on what I'm doing so you can have another success story. Awesome. Where are you at, Thomas? Just so I can remember. I'll forget, but your mic is fixed. Uh-oh, was it bad? As a starter, should I start out at $50 or is it free for a little bit? I would start out at $250, $300 house wash is what I'd start out, Chris. That's what I would do. Don't start out cheap just because you're 15. They don't need to know you're 15. I mean, just be, and if they ask, be like, I'm working for college. They don't need to know. And, that's how you can grow it. Don't start out cheap just because you're young and think you don't know nothing. And that's what I tell anybody. Just because you're starting out and don't know nothing doesn't mean you need to be the $99 guy. Okay. Oh, yeah, that just outside of Philadelphia. Make sure, don't, just because you're just starting out and you don't think you know what you're doing and don't know how to price, doesn't mean that we're going to go in cheap. Now, what I am going to tell you is if you're not confident in your pricing, you're probably not going to close as much. So, this is a skill that you will learn to that you can better yourself and do it. So, make sure that you get comfortable. Make sure that you are, videotape yourself, the spiel of talking on the phone and doing that. You don't have to go look at their house. You can pull it up on Google. You're young. You know how to do that stuff. Look it up on Google, see how big of a house it is, and give a price. And go from there. Start your minimum at $250. If you're afraid of $300, start it at $250 and go up from there. And I'm talking about anybody, because once you start getting busy, then we can start raising our prices and make more money. But how can you tell if you're getting screwed with SEO? Well, that's why I say learn it a little bit, and that way you know. My neighbor still thinks it's crazy we make money spraying their water on their own house. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. All right, I'm going to scroll down through here. What would you recommend for a new business to keep track of tax purpose information? QuickBooks, Express. So I would do QuickBooks. I also do a lot of stuff, get its own banking account. So that way any money coming in or out, that's how you can track. If you do use a credit card, make sure you pay it off. But that's another way that you can track to know what's coming in and what's going out. Hey, Jason, how hot of a mix on metal roofs? And do you rinse? Yes, you want to rinse a lot. You don't want to use much soap. You want to use much surfactant. And about a 2 to 3% will usually clean them up pretty nice. Sometimes a 1.5, downstream straight will, but sometimes you gotta go up a little bit. Got a huge because and a lot of times if you on here, if you have a CPA, they can get QuickBooks for you for like half price of what normal it is. As far as marketing, I started with free marketing, door to door, and put some money out for signs. Yep. Let's get Jason some likes. This guy helps us out. Let's help him out. Thumbs up. Jason is successful at everything he does. Listen and put into action. It will change your life. I've had my school of hard knocks, and I've learned. And I'm not going to say I'm good at everything because I'm not. I might be able to make successful things out of it. We was talking. I was doing my landing page for my review. Yeah. Again, if you want to give me a review at kingofpressurewash.com/review, and my wife's like, "How did you do that?" It was all, the words were not good at all. I'm like, because I'm not good at writing. I'm good at talking. And that's the thing. If you're good at something, whether you're good at writing, whether you're good at talking, whether you're good at audio, find out what you're good and do that. If you're good at doing video, then go do lives and go do videos. If you're good at typing, go type up blogs, go do typing, go talk and interact with typing. Find out what you're good at and do it. Don't say you're bad at everything, because I don't agree with that. I know you might not be good, comfortable, but you might be good on camera. Go do something. Because if you do nothing, guess what results you get when you do nothing? What's the minimum size trailer for a new power wash company? You can do it out of like a bed of a pickup. So, that trailer I built was a 5x10 and it did fine. I'm doing full-time driver and started my business. I plan on going full-time pressure washing when I can get another truck set up. Awesome. Unchosen, I'm running a 5x8. Grant Cardone says to put your eggs in one basket, diversifying is a mistake of the middle class. To put your eggs in one basket. Yeah. I like to diversify some things, but I agree on that. Focus, and you'll get where you need to be at. Look, you guys could do this out of a car. Listen to my dude here. Focus. Yeah, I've got some guys that do it. You banged and it's making noise. Uh-oh. I got excited. Do you think I should have daughters work me this summer? I don't know. Will they going to put up with you? Yes, they should work. Can everyone here give Jason a thumbs up? They really pissed me off last season. Well, I wonder where they learned it from. But great workers, just stubborn like mom. All right. Do you charge sales tax on tickets or just incorporate it into the quote? If my state requires sales tax, I'm going to charge sales tax. I'm not going to take my $300 and take 6% off that. I'm going to add it. And, if a competitors don't add it, then I'm going to use that as, hey, I'm a legit business. I'm paying taxes because your governor thought that we needed to pay the 6% because they didn't want to pay the teachers. So guess what? You have to pay the 6%. And I'm a legit business, so do it. Who's the sexy stud muffin on the deck behind you? That would be Jason. Jason, have you cleaned rows of storage units? How would you reach the owner? Go in and find out there's a couple, obviously if there's a number, go check it out. You can get on the PVA of your county, and a lot of times they will have the owner of those places. So that's what I would do to find that. All right, guys. Again, if you would like to learn pressure washing from a guy we did $2 million over each up. I did a couple million. He did a couple million. He did $1 million this past year. Me and Donovan's going to do a class in Raleigh, North Carolina. It is the end of February 24th and 25th. You can go to pressurewashhelp.com class dates. It is a 3-day class. 2 days will be pressure washing. 2 days will be Christmas lights. The middle day, so the first day is going to be all about pressure washing. You get to do the pressure washing. I break it down. And I'm going to break it even further because I got a whole day now instead of just a half a day on it. And then day 2, we're going to talk about marketing. We're going to talk about how to get customers, how I got customers, how Donovan's gotten customers. He's going to talk about gutter cleaning, about an hour or 2 of gutter cleaning. He's going to talk about CRMs. He does very good with CRMs. He has a very good CRM that he likes to use. It is a great CRM for him. And then we're going to talk about the most important thing. The most important thing over the whole weekend will be over safety. Ladder safety, roof safety. He's actually going to have a prop that we will be able to show you how to install anchors and all kinds of awesome stuff. We're going to have an aerial so that you'll be able to go up in the aerial, learn safety of the aerial and all that kind of things. Also on Sunday, we will learn how to do Christmas lights and everything along that way. If you do all 3, it's $1,200 to make you $150,000 or more in a year if you do a little bit of work and get stuff done. If not, you want to go get 7 days free, you can go to pressurewashhelp.com/free, and there I teach a lot of the same stuff that I teach in the in-person. You just don't get the hands-on side of things, and you got to watch it through video. But I have added everything. I teach you everything from making sure you go down the list of how to get it starts all the way how to find out your name, what kind of name, and what do you need it for a name, all the way down to how to pressure wash, how to do roof cleaning. So hope you all have a good weekend. Hope you all have a good night, and I'll see you on Sunday night.